Hey everyone, welcome to the Withering Effect episode 108. Today's date is August 15th, 2021, and I am Duds or Duds Versus, known to the rest of the interwebs.
And I'm Jimbo. You may know me as Jimbo Slice 23. So what have you been up to this week, Duds?
Very, very busy. Not in Minecraft. Real life, but I won't go too much into it. Let's just say I tore apart my kitchen and put it all back together over basically the last part of this week.
It's like a rebuild.
Minecraft wise, I've been stuck. There's a little spot in my mountain. I'm like, that's the next place I want to go. The thunder. Okay, so it's like storming really bad outside right now. So you guys might hear a little bit of the background. I'm sure Carl's not going to be able to edit it all out. But there's also a good chance I lose power and I lose basically the entire episode. There's that kind of chance.
I saw there's a bunch of thunderstorms south of us. I was thinking maybe we'll get rained out at work, and it was all south of us, and you're south of us. So, yeah, it was definitely heading your way. I saw some bad storms coming.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It wasn't thundering till about 10 minutes ago. I'm hoping we get through this, but like I said, working this week, I've got a section of my base I'm absolutely struggling with. I ended up posting a picture on the Discord and I'm like, hey, red circle, this spot right here, I can't think of what to put here. You guys let me know. And people were throwing out ideas I actually really liked, but I couldn't get it to work. I'm thinking about doing like an awning type area around the deck, kind of like how I was doing Fisherman's Cove or whatever, adding that on this side. Mm-hmm. But it's not working out great. I ended up building like half a structure and then just ripped it out.
Really?
Deleted the footage and everything. It was so bad.
Oh, you recorded and everything.
It was so bad it deleted the footage. I was just like, nope.
I've been there.
So that put me way behind because that was like 7 minutes of footage. It's like,
yeah.
I'm kind of in the design limbo. My problem is I have trouble building anything that's not functional. You want me to build a farm? I can build the farm. You want me to decorate that farm so it looks good? I'm your guy. You want me to build something that's purely aesthetic and has nothing to do with anything?
Yep.
Not your dude here.
That's not my cup of tea either.
No.
That's where I have a lot of issues.
Yeah. So I think what I might do this episode is concentrating on getting a little bit of detailing done on the mountain, which stinks because I wanted to save the detailing for last because I have a feeling I'm going to do a lot of detailing for no reason because I'm just going to end up covering it with another section of my building or something like that. So I'm in a limbo, and that's kind of why episodes went from one every 5 days to one every week and a half to now it's like one every 2 weeks. It's because, well, we all know the season's kind of winding down. We're all just kind of waiting for 118, and now it's where we try to clean up stuff and finish projects, and the creativity is not flowing as strong as it was. My mind is already on next season and what I'm building. It's like, don't go there yet. We're not done with this season.
Yeah, still have a little more time to kill.
Yeah,
on the season. It's going to be the holidays, so
we got a while.
Right. We got fall approaching, but it's still summer.
Yeah.
It's still very warm out. So until fall gets here, there's not so much any time limit to where you got to meet to get things done. So it's kind of like you're kind of in chill mode, but you want to get things done. Mm-hmm. And there's not so much of a rush until that weather starts changing.
Yeah, I kind of thought about throwing back My Own Survival. Just like kind of bounce, do an episode of My Own Survival, come back, do a ripple effect. Just to kind of knock the creativity around and see how that works out a bit. I enjoyed My Own Survival, but I always kind of knew it was a series to bounce around between series. It was never going to be a long-term single-player world. It's like, I still have the world. I have it saved up, and it's all pre-116. So there's a lot I can still do in it. And so I might bring it back from the dead.
Yeah, sounds cool.
Mm-hmm.
Been a while.
Yeah. What have you been up to this week? Actually, I know what you've been up to this week.
Yeah, Speaking of, it's been a while. I'm barely home.
Yeah.
I've been working 7 days a week the past couple weeks. Well, I had last Sunday off. barely got our work done Saturday night, and I got last Sunday off. But this week I had to work all week, and I had to work late today. I just got home like a half hour ago, and I'm like, Let's do the show before it gets any more late. I know I don't have my note down, but I was able to put something down, get ready. We have a topic in hand, and that also leads to no Minecraft. I'm not able to play as much because of the way my work schedule is. Now, at work right now, it's kind of like an emergency thing. We have a time limit. We got to get this thing done, this project done before a certain time. So once that time is up, I'll be back to my normal schedule. I'll be able to make some new content. And what I want to do in the future, at least for my next episode, I want to have like a mega episode. And I want to do the things that I'm good at. You know, I want to do the things that I really enjoy. I want to use the replay mod. I want to mess with the voices. You know, I want to mess with stuff like that. I want to be not so much building on camera or time lapses. Maybe a time lapse, or maybe I'll throw in a time lapse. But I want to make it more like different skits around. And I have ideas in my mind, but I'm probably going to need you.
Okay.
Not the audience. Sorry, audience. Duds. I'm talking the duds. Duds, I might need you for a couple things because I have a few ideas to run in this episode. You can always throw them in yours. You know, it's fun to collab that way. But yeah, hey, this is the first time you know about it. Yeah, I'm just throwing it out there.
Had a bit of a collab today with Omni.
Did you?
Just a little one.
Yeah, see, I've noticed a few collabs on the Ripple Effect, and I'm not able to be there. You know, I'm like, oh man, you know, it looks like everyone's having a good time. You know, building things. Everyone's got some nice things built, and yeah, it sucks not being able to. I come home and I see my computer, and I'm like, I have like an hour, you know, and I'm already whooped.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna relax. You know, I need my sleep just to get through the next day. You know.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
And it's funny how just recently, like the past few days, when like it starts to wear on you, because I go to the gym every morning and that wears on you. Past couple times I didn't go because I needed my rest. I've been working late, and I'm like, now I remember why I wanted to be a successful YouTuber, so I don't have to do this. I don't have to go to work and beat myself up all the time. So I'm still motivated to do it. You know, this is what I want to do. Even if the show takes off, I would rather do this.
Oh, for sure.
Instead of do the work that I do. It's not bad. Like, it keeps me in shape, but it's, you know, you have times like this where you're just wore out. You can't do much but work. Sorry, my voice started cracking. I don't sound like that usually.
Dude, my shoulder's been so messed up these last couple weeks. Today's actually the first day I've been able to really lift my arm above my head without severe pain.
Oh, wow.
So I'm taking it as it's getting better.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's because I just like overworked the heck out of it this weekend, so that at some point, whatever was wrong with it kind of worked itself out or whatnot. But I feel you in the, you need rest, and my body obviously needed physical rest to heal.
Yeah. I'm
used to walking 5 miles a day, 5 days out of the week, and I haven't done that in like 2 weeks. And I'm going, well, when I go to get back into that, I'm gonna be wore out.
Yeah. And a little bit of advice: if anyone were to do like any hard labor work and they need to wear boots, make sure you wear those boots in, because I started with newer boots, and when they're new, they're fresh, they're not worn in, your feet will get really sore. And I've been having sore feet.
Did you double sock?
No, I single socked.
Oh, you gotta double sock new boots, man.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I might have to try that.
Give you the extra cushion.
Should have asked a long time ago.
It's going to be hot and you're going to get some sweaty feet, but
yeah, that was the problem. That's what I wanted. I wanted my feet to breathe, so I used one. Yeah, for more cushion. That might help.
Yeah, more cushion, double sock. I would always wear like my winter thermal socks and then my normal socks over top of that. And yeah, my feet sweat and stunk at the end of the day, but at least I wasn't getting blisters.
Yeah, it's not like my boots smelled great anyway, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about it for my week. It's been a long one.
Yeah.
It's actually gone by fast because of work.
Yeah, you're so busy you can't keep track of what time of day it is.
Right. It's like I'm always there. It's like I'm never home.
Yeah. Well, and I sat there and I went to sit down and write the show. And me and you were normally sitting down at like 10:30, 11 o'clock at night to write the show. And I sat down yesterday and I was like, I'm not even going to message Jimbo or call him because I know what happened. You got home, you sat down, you're like, I'm going to bed.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm not going to make him jump on the show. And especially with how light Minecraft news has been lately, it's really not worth it. Though the downfall is it's a lot harder to come up with topics and stuff. But we actually have like 3 listener comments, one of which we are going to turn into the post show.
Yeah.
So those of you patrons who listen to the post show, viperoustuna, your topic is going to make the post show.
Nice.
But yeah, let's hop into the news because we did have the experimental snapshot number 3. And the big change is to mob spawning again. They're still going with the 0 light level mob spawning. But do you know how if you build your farm lower in the world, rates are higher?
Yeah.
Because it always tries to start spawning at 0 and then slowly works its way up. Well, that's changed. That's not a thing anymore in the experimental snapshot. All spawning rates will be similar to Y64 now.
Okay. So Y64 would be...
Basically ground level.
Okay, that would be that's ground level.
Yeah, it doesn't... So in the experimental snapshot, it basically doesn't matter where you put the farm. It's going to act as if it's Y64 now.
Okay.
So putting a farm up in the sky will be fine. Putting a farm down in the ground, you're going to get the same rates. Doesn't matter.
Nice. Kind of like that.
I kind of like it too. It does mean spawn rates will be a little bit lower. Like you think about Enderman Farm, how we always go down to Y0 now, or as close to Y0 as we can to get the super fast Enderman rates. That won't be a thing anymore.
Yeah.
Enderman Farm are still going to be super OP.
Yeah.
But you won't have to do the water bucket skydive over the void to pillar down anymore.
That's true. That's always a good thing.
Yeah, there's no reason to do that anymore. So that's kind of the big change. There's a couple like little biome changes.
I do want to put out there that I haven't seen this update, this experimental snapshot. Again, stuck at work and all.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I saw a video for it, and I was like, wait a second, is there a new snapshot? And by the time I was searching for it, I kind of lost what I was doing, and I never did get to check it out.
This week I watched Pixel Riff's video on it. It's about 30 minutes long because he goes into crazy amounts of detail. So it's a very good video to watch. I would highly recommend it. We're not going to go into that kind of depth or detail or anything like that because a lot of it's like smaller stuff. Like they tweak the Badlands to show up in more flat areas next to plateaus as a way to generate more red sand.
Okay.
So that's kind of cool. They also are writing some new metrics to avoid temperature clashes. Like you're not going to see a desert and a snowy biome right next to each other anymore.
Yeah, that helps. And it also says, I see here, they spawn on the surface rather than, or they spawn on the surface rather than at a fixed Y level. They always spawned at a certain Y level.
You mean desert temples?
Yeah, desert temples specifically.
Yeah. I'm guessing, yeah, they used to. Yeah, because you could find a desert temple that's like half buried, which I always thought was super cool.
Yeah, I always enjoyed that. I didn't know it's because of the Y level it was buried. I thought they just buried some through generation.
But when it comes to temperature clashes, we have a new biome called Stony Peaks, and it's a mountain biome variant of lofty snow-capped peaks. They use stone and gravel instead of snow and ice, and that's a way to, again, smooth out temperature changes between the biomes. So I wanted to throw that in there before we moved on from that.
I like how they're using the word temperature changes, the different temperatures.
Yeah.
Because you don't really, there's no temperature, you don't get cold or hot. Well, with the snow, now you go in the snow, you could freeze. I guess you could be on fire. So yeah, there are a couple of temperatures. Never mind.
Well, the most we got is like desert and savanna. You just don't get rain.
Yeah, weather in general.
Yeah.
It feels like they're starting to bring that out a little bit.
Let's go with they smoothed out the cliffs in shattered terrain. It's okay. I actually really enjoy shattered terrain.
Yeah.
It's not horrible. It'll be, again, it's just something to get used to. It's not like it's bad. I don't want to make it sound like it's bad. It's just shattered terrain was so cool, and
it was very, I don't know, it's very different than all the other
generation
you see. It's like exotic almost, just seeing floating islands because everything's shattered.
Yeah.
Great name, by the way, for it. So they smoothed it out. Have you seen a picture of the smoothed out?
Yeah, Pixel Riff went over in his video, and it's not like it's changed a ton.
Okay.
It still looks like a shattered cliffside. It's just another thing to get used to. One of the changes they also did is coastlines and riverbanks are less likely to be intersected by aquifers. They really have been working on aquifers and water.
Yeah, they have.
In these last couple experimental snapshots.
Maybe they broke a lot of things.
Maybe.
So they really got a hit on it.
Yeah. So they're mentioning that, like, when you go inland, not close to the ocean, but more inland, if you're in like a plains biome, because that's a low level biome, you're less likely to find underwater caves. So that could be a little cool. I'm running into that now. Of course, I'm in an ocean biome. So basically every cave I run into is waterlogged.
Yeah, it's nothing worse than mining, and you mine into a waterlogged cave. It just slows you down. It's annoying.
I don't know. Mining into a lava-logged cave. That stinks.
Yeah, that's going to be a thing now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like to put my input in here, but I haven't got to see much of these. So I'm kind of letting you take the lead so you can elaborate a little more, because I can't. If anything, I'm asking you.
Yeah. Well, and that's just it. It's a lot of little tweaks. You can tell they're just trying to fine tune a lot of stuff.
Yeah, the only thing that really stands out is the Y level spawning and the spawning rates.
Yeah. And now the pillager outposts can spawn in all the new mountain biomes too. There really wasn't a ton of different changes. Mob spawning being the biggest one, and even then, to me, it just feels like they're fine tuning, just like they're doing with all the little biome changes. Is we're avoiding temperature clashes, so we're fine tuning stuff. They invented a new biome just to fine tune temperature clashes. They noticed red sand was becoming a little bit more rarer, so they raised that up a little bit. And they're nice little tweaks.
Sounds like they really want to blend in the biomes together as smooth as they can.
Yeah. I think they understand that they got 116 really right. So they're making sure this new biome generation and stuff in the overworld is just as good.
Yeah.
As the Nether was. The only problem was the Nether was mostly a blank slate.
Right.
They didn't have much to worry about, whereas now you have a terrain that's loved by a lot of people, so you have to be gentle with the amount of changes you're doing to it, and they've got to be good, solid changes, and I think they're doing that.
Yeah, I like where they're going. And I'd like to see this new experimental snapshot. I've been wanting to play with the experimental snapshot. If I could say the words experimental snapshot. Look, I messed up again. But there is, a little bit of hoops you got to jump through to actually be able to play it. So I never really, put the time in to download it and got to see what it was about.
Yeah, it's rough for us. We don't have a lot of free time, and the little bit of free time we have, we're either resting up to go lose more free time, or we're working on YouTube and then the podcast. And I wish I had more time to dedicate to, like, hey, I'm going to sit down for a day and play in the experimental snapshot, see what it's like. But it's like, no, I'm 3 days behind on a YouTube video. I really need to work on that and get that out. Or no, gotta write the podcast. Gotta come up with a topic we haven't talked about in 108 episodes.
Yeah, that's the hard part.
That's the hard part.
Since I haven't made any content lately, I'm in no rush now. It's kind of like, okay.
Yeah.
It's been a while now. Now let's kind of just reset.
Yeah. It's kind of it for the news. Nothing special. It's nice to see that Mojang's mostly back from vacations. And they're getting back to sending some stuff out. I still don't expect a ton to come out in the next week or two. We'll probably get more experimental snapshots where there's little fine-tuning tweaks here or there, but I don't expect like full-blown 118 snapshots for at least a month.
Yeah, you could be right there. I mean, if they're going to release 118 soon, you might want to see something.
Well, here's the thing. We should be seeing Minecon live here soon, shouldn't we?
Yeah, and they should give us a sneak peek of 119.
You would think that's coming soon, so we'll keep an eye out. I haven't heard really anything from it.
Yeah, you would think there would be a date posted or something, but I haven't really looked, but hasn't popped up either.
I was thinking it usually is like at the end of September, like the last weekend of September.
Oh, okay.
But I'm not sure.
Yeah, I know it's not live. It's going to be an online thing again, but
yeah,
at least that was what the plan was. But yeah, I don't know the date.
Let's go ahead and hop into listener comments because we have two.
Mm-hmm.
We'll start with Kitty Cat 2. They ask, what do you think is the most unique mob in Minecraft? There's a couple different ways to look at it, because if you want to go unique, I mean, Phantom.
Phantom was there.
It's one of the only that actually flies next to the bat, I guess.
Yeah.
Don't at me about parrots. They just kind of float and hover.
Yeah, they just flutter.
Yeah.
I was going to say at least one of them is the creeper. You know, one of the first hostile mobs. It's different. You know, it's nothing you've seen before in look wise. That's where the uniqueness comes in. And it's functions.
Mm-hmm.
You know, its mechanics. You know, it exploding when it gets near you. Never really seen anything like that in a game. Well, I guess as soon as I say that, I think of Mario and the bombs that blow up when you get next to him. But
yep.
You know, it doesn't make a sound though. You know, that's the name Creeper. It comes up on you silently. It's a silent killer, and it's a one-hit kill type of deal. And I've never seen that anymore or any other time. So it's pretty unique to me.
Well, and it's also like the face of Minecraft.
Yeah.
Next to the grass block, I'm pretty sure Creeper Face is the most recognizable face in the gaming industry. So
I think you're right.
Yeah. But let's not forget we have our own mascot, the Wither. Very unique, especially in the Minecraft world.
Yeah.
3 heads, flies around, shoots your face off.
It's the boss.
It's a boss. Drops Wither roses, so it's super useful.
Mm-hmm.
The only other mob that drops roses is, what, a golem?
You need it to get a beacon.
Yeah.
Destroy it to get a beacon. What about a passive mob? What would be the most unique passive mob?
I don't know, because passive mobs seem to mimic real life mobs.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Glow squid?
Yeah, I would guess glow squid. No, because to me, that's just a squid variant now.
Yeah.
If it's got its own variant, like tropical fish, oh yeah, they're cool, but there's like 106 variants of fish.
Yeah, they're unique. You can't pinpoint one.
Yeah, I mean, for ambient mob, I mean, the dolphin's really cool in the fact that it kind of plays with blocks you drop in the water.
Mm-hmm.
It gives you the swim effect. Doesn't it like lure you to treasure? Like it'll take you to sunken treasure if you follow it?
Yeah, I guess if you give it fish,
yeah,
it's supposed to lead you to buried treasure.
I think it just sunken ships, not buried treasure.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure about that either.
The new goats.
Yeah.
They got a little uniqueness, but again, you know, they do everything that they do in real life. It's nothing too out of the ordinary.
That's what I'm trying to think. Is there a ambient mob that doesn't exist in the real world in Minecraft? Are we missing something?
Not passive. Yeah.
I mean, you can go piglins and stuff like that, but to me, those are a zombie variant. So,
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's a good question.
Every mob in Minecraft is unique, obviously. Because it's one of the things Mojang really kind of hits on. They don't want mobs to do the same thing over and again. And I think they really started that when people were like, why do we have a husk? They're basically desert zombies. There's nothing special with the husk. Like, since then, it became a thing. Like, Mojang doesn't create mobs that are identical and a lot of that do basically the same thing. So yeah, we have a drowned that is just an underwater zombie, but it's got a trident. It throws that. You can get nautilus shells from it.
Drops copper.
Drops copper now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a reason behind it.
I don't know what I would call the most unique mob. Really? I'm going to go Wither. Those are my chips. I'm putting them on the Wither as most unique mob, just because I don't think there's anything close to looking like it. I mean, if you say dragon, you're like, well, we've got a phantom that flies too, and bat and stuff like that.
The shulkers are pretty unique.
Shulkers are unique now that you say that.
They are pretty unique. They're a lot different than anything. Like, who would have thought of that? Who thought of the shulker?
Yeah, and to me, it seems like, okay, we have this box we want to use for cool storage, but we need to turn it into some kind of mob.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, we'll make it into a clam that fires floaty darts at you.
Ah, yeah, it does resemble a clam.
It does. Yeah, no, okay, so a shulker and a wither.
Yeah, well, the creeper.
And the creeper.
That was my first choice.
They're all unique.
Phantom, but they're all hostile. It'd be nice to see one passive, unique, different kind of mob.
It really would.
That no one's seen before.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully 119.
Maybe.
Still got 119. You got the warden coming. That's pretty unique.
Still hostile.
Still hostile, though. That is a good question. I never really thought about.
Yeah.
The next one we got is from viperoustuna. They ask if you could have one enchantment added to Minecraft, what would it be?
That's a tough one.
Yeah, it is. I remember watching Cub Fan's video, and he had a suggestion for pant enchantment. And I was real big into it when I heard it. And that's a pocket enchantment, where you can actually gain inventory space just from your pants.
Mm-hmm.
You get like just a line of what is it, 9? It's 9 squares.
Yeah.
Per line. Yeah, you get another 9 opening for your inventory space. You get a bigger inventory. It helps with inventory management, and you get a new enchantment on the pants, because the pants don't have a unique enchantment. I was like, pocket enchantment would be perfect. I always thought it was a great idea.
Yeah. Mine, I feel, would be too overpowered, but I'd think of something like binding or whatever and curse of vanishing, but the opposite, in that, let's call it like rebirth or afterlife or something like that, where if you died and you had that enchantment on your gear, that armor would spawn on you when you respawn. So you would have next to no chance of losing your gear when you died. And it takes a little bit of the fun out of dying in Minecraft, but that would be an enchantment. Like, I'm not an adventurer, I'm not a fighter, so dying in Minecraft is just annoying to me.
It is.
So if I could take out a lot of the risk of dying and having to go back and get my armor and all that stuff, that would be nice.
I see a lot of people in the videos I watch dying in the void lately.
Mm-hmm.
Even in like the overworld, where they break all the way down. Like, for instance, in Hermitcraft, the bottom hole.
Yeah.
There's a void underneath. People, there's been players dying in that hole in the void and losing all their stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, just because you throw your stuff down there doesn't mean you're going to spawn back with it because you done threw it in the void. But yeah, anything on you, I guess armor-wise.
Yeah, it'd be an armor enchantment. I don't think you could get away with putting it on a pickaxe or a sword or something like that.
Yeah, tools might be exempt from that, but armor, I could see it being a thing. It would have to be very, very rare.
Yeah.
For that to come about.
Mm-hmm. But then again, with villager trading now, is any enchantment rare? It's just more, how willing are you to grind for it?
Yeah. Maybe it's not a tradable thing. It couldn't be.
Oh, so it'd have to be a treasure.
Mm-hmm. Have to find it.
That'd make it tough, that's for sure.
That would make it worth being there.
That's true.
Give it a little more balance, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
You'd have to go throughout the world. But like, once you get that enchantment, it's done. That armor is equipped with it. It's done. You don't have to mess with it. You get mending and that on your armor, then you're good.
Mm-hmm.
Shouldn't ever need armor again. Unless you take your pants off and throw them in the lava. Don't do that, though.
Yeah.
Unless they're netherite. And then they're going to float.
There are many exemptions to my enchantment. I'm figuring this out, but I would really want that enchantment. That's one I would put on the top of my list.
Yeah. It'd definitely be in a book. You couldn't enchant for it. Or maybe like a 1 in a million type of. Maybe it'll pop up on your enchantments when you enchant.
Yeah, in the enchantment table.
Yeah.
Thank you for those listener comments, Kitty Cat 2 and viperoustuna. Those comments was from our Discord, and our Discord's the only place you can talk to everyone who works on the show easily. Just take me, Jason's word for it.
Hey friends, it's me, Jason, and I'm a member of the Withering Effect Discord. It's a great place to talk to your fellow listeners and give your input into the show. You might even get your question or comment read out on a future episode. Join the Discord today. Link is in the show notes, and I'll see you there. Duds 100% this message.
Thanks for that Discord ad, me, Jason. And speaking of the Discord, it's the only place you can get involved in our Mending Minecraft vote. This week, we ask you to choose between one of 3 items for us to discuss and improve. Your choices were the crossbow, sweet berries, or shears.
And the winner of Mending Minecraft this week is... sweet berries. I would have thought crossbow, not gonna lie.
Would have thought crossbow too.
I was gonna message you to say crossbow can't lose, but it did.
It did.
And
by a lot.
Yeah. Crossbow had 17 votes, sweet berries had 35 votes, and the shears with 8. So shears aren't gonna get talked about for a while, it sounds like.
I say the shears lost just because Carl put his own face in the image.
Oh, that's probably why crossbow lost too, man.
Oh yeah, Carl jinxed the items.
Oh, it was rigged. It was rigged. Anyways, a few things on the sweet berries. Sweet berries are a food item that are collected from sweet berry bushes. Placing sweet berries on a grass block, dirt, podzol, coarse dirt, or farmland creates a small sweet berry bush that eventually becomes a fully grown sweet berry bush. Berry bushes commonly generate in all taiga variants, even snow variants. Sweet berries can be collected from a sweet berry bush by using the break it, which yield by using or breaking it, which yields 1 to 2 sweet berries in its third growth stage and 2 to 3 berries in its final growth stage. Sweet berries can be eaten for 2 hunger and bred to foxes for breeding. And you can also take a sweet berry and feed a baby fox, and then they won't flee from you. That's not on here, but I do remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet berries can also be found in taiga village chests naturally. So that's all I have for the sweet berries.
Yeah, sweet berries are not really one of those things. I've been saying this a lot with Mending Minecraft. You guys choose some weird stuff for us to improve.
Maybe they're trying to trick us, you know. Maybe it's like a big joke on us. See if these guys can fix sweet berries.
Yeah, I mean, I have a fix for sweet berries. It's nothing elaborate or crazy like we do with the biomes or even mobs or anything like that. But so looking at the sweet berry texture and knowing what I know of berries in real life, which isn't a ton, but I know for a fact I can throw more than one berry in my mouth at a time and eat it, right?
Oh, yeah.
One of the biggest gripes on food in Minecraft is every food takes the same amount of time to eat, but does not give you the same amount of hunger, haunches, or saturation, right?
Right.
So most people just lean, well, if I'm going to take all this time to eat, I'm going to eat either a golden carrot, cooked pork chop, or a steak. Best foods in the game.
Mm-hmm.
But what if you go to eat sweet berries and it gives you the ability, if you do a quick press, you eat one berry, so it gives you a tiny bit of hunger and saturation back, or you can continue to hold the eat button and it would put multiple berries in your mouth. So you would watch your inventory shrink by higher multiples instead of just one, but you'd get a lot more hunger back and more saturation.
Yeah.
Now, I know saturation's like leaving when they bring the new combat update in, but to me, it would make sweet berries an effective choice if I have 64 sweet berries. I hold down the long eat, so it's the same amount of eating time as it would to eat a steak. And I ended up eating 10 sweet berries, but I ended up getting 3.5, 4 hunger haunches back out of that bite. It would make sweet berries worth it to me.
Yeah, it doesn't help that you just eat one at a time.
Yeah.
No one eats one berry at a time.
But maybe you only have one berry.
Yeah.
You just click and eat it, and that's that. You get half a hunch back or something like that. Maybe you're on 3 hunches, so now you can't sprint and go anywhere, but you're trying to avoid danger, so you throw a quick sweet berry in your mouth. Now you're just out of 3 hunger hunches, so you can sprint a little ways and get out of danger while you grab your other food and munch more down on that. Could be a thing.
Yeah. So you're saying you can eat them quicker.
Yeah, I'm saying you can just do the quick tap and you would eat 1 sweet berry, but it would give you very little hunger hunches and saturation. Or you can click and hold on sweet berries and you would eat multiple sweet berries at a time, and it would fill your hunger to a higher level in one shot.
Yeah, I like that. I was going to mention that. Someone in the Discord, actually J-Man, mentioned that berries should have faster eat time. I was like, yes. Yes, they should. That's kind of what you're saying, except for not only that, but being able to extend that time by eating more berries.
Yes.
I like it.
Yeah, so you can have a quicker eat time, but you're going to eat less berries and you're going to get less hunger hunches back. Or you can eat the normal amount of eating time, like steak or pork chops and stuff, and get more hunger hunches back, but it's going to cost you more sweet berries, which makes sense to me. If I'm going to fill up on berries, I'm going to eat a lot of berries.
Mm-hmm. You definitely use it up faster than, steak or
Correct.
any other food.
It's still not a super useful food, but this method to me would make it more useful.
Mm-hmm.
It still probably wouldn't beat out a golden carrot or a steak, but it wouldn't be one of those like garbage foods that I think of, like when I think of kelp. Like kelp does nothing to eat.
Yeah. What is it, like half a hunger it gives you or something?
And you still have to cook it. You still have to make it dried kelp before you can eat it.
That's true.
It's not even worth the coal you waste to cook it.
I just had a thought for sweet berries, though.
What's that?
I was thinking, maybe we can use them as a dye. That was my first thought.
Mm-hmm.
There are plenty of red dyes. We don't really need it. Even beetroot can give you dye. But what if the sweet berries over time, maybe even in the winter biome, maybe they can turn purple. And maybe that purple can give you a dye. I don't think you can gain a purple dye naturally in the game. I don't think there's a flower that gives you purple dye. And sweet berries might be able to do so.
I thought there was. I think there's a purple tulip, is there not?
I don't think there's a purple tulip. I don't think there's like a purple dye at all. You'd have to put red and blue together. And berries, naturally, not most berries, but some berries turn purple. They go from red to purple. It's actually like a darker purple.
I believe you're right in that there's not a flower that makes purple dye.
Yeah. And usually if you eat these berries, we have berries around my area everywhere. Just grow naturally and you can grab them and eat them. Raspberries or whatever. And they'll leave a dye on your hands. You'll have like purple on your fingers. So naturally you think you can get dye from these things. But in the game you can't. But what if we can get some purple dye that way? What if they turn purple? First, they'd have to turn purple, of course. We'd have to make like a separate one. But I'm thinking the snow biome would be a good spot. Or maybe not.
A fermented sweet berry?
Yeah. Yeah, like a frozen sweet berry. They're purple or something along those lines.
Yeah, no. I'm all for berries making purple dye now. I always thought there was a tulip that covered purple. Seeing on the Minecraft wiki that there is not... Yeah, let's have some purple dye.
Yeah, from sweet berries.
Mm-hmm.
I was just thinking, I never had like a fix for sweet berries. I just found out sweet berries won, but that just came about.
Yeah.
I'm like, what do berries do? Well, they leave residue on your fingers. Why don't they use them as dye? It just kind of went down that path.
Very true. Yeah, I like the idea. That's a good one.
Thanks.
See, we came up with 2 very good uses for sweet berries.
Mm-hmm. Instead of what do you use sweet berries for now? Do you ever use them?
I have like no sweet berries. I haven't used them at all for decor, just because they don't really match with the landscape I have going on this season.
Yeah.
Usually it would just be for decoration. I know you can breed foxes and stuff. I haven't really cared about foxes.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna have berry bushes around, you're gonna need that red. The red comes with it, so if you have no use for it, then yeah, I haven't used it much, to be honest.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's talk main topic today. So I thought of a fun little idea while I was sitting down for dinner tonight, and it was, let's talk about some of our first Minecraft building experiences. On the show previously, we've talked about what the first night's like and what Minecraft was to us in the beginning, but like first building experiences. Like, I remember building my very first Minecraft structure, and it was a dirt house. Like, everyone's thing was, I didn't understand that dirt house was like the thing. It was just, I needed blocks to build a structure, and the easiest to get block was dirt at the time. So I just grabbed dirt and kept building and made like this dirt house and stuff. But I built the house like I was building a real house, because that's what I've been taught to do all through schooling and stuff. So I'm building foundations and structural supports and everything like this. And I had a buddy, Caleb, come up to me and goes, "What are you doing?" I go, "I'm building a house and stuff." He's like, "Yeah, but why are you building it that way?" I go, "So everything's supported and it doesn't collapse on each other and stuff like that." He's like, "Come here." I go, "Okay, what?" And then he pillared up like 3 blocks. I go, "Okay, good job. I mean, that doesn't show me anything." And then he goes, "Watch." And then he breaks out the middle dirt block. And then that one dirt block's just floating there. And mind blown. At that point, I went, "Wait, what? Gravity doesn't work in Minecraft?" He's like, "Yeah, no, not really." Changed the way I built in Minecraft.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I didn't know that blocks could just float there and stuff. So
One thing I didn't know when I was building a house, I remember building, and I wanted to go down to get safe. I didn't really build anything. I dug down into the earth and just covered myself up, and to where I got stone. And I ended up making a pretty nice little square place inside the ground that I lived in. But I couldn't figure out how all of these mobs would get inside of my hole. And I'm like, how are they getting in here? You know, they're supposed to be outside.
mm-hmm.
Here, I'd never lit anything up. They were just spawning in there. And I did not know I had to light things up to keep them from out there. I'm like, this creeper keeps getting in my base and killing me, and I don't know how it's getting in there. I'm like, it can't get in here. It can't get in there. How is it get? It's just spawning in there. And I'm like, oh my, it's like one of those head slappers, shake my head type of deal.
I can just picture you going, "They don't even have hands. How are they opening the door? This isn't Jurassic Park."
I was yelling at the TV like at the top of my lungs. How are they getting in there? This is impossible. But yeah, that's just not how the game works. Yeah, they were just, I'd go out to go get wood or something and come back. I'm like, there's a skeleton. How did that skeleton get in there? Right? And I just never thought about it until eventually I'd start watching YouTube to figure out this game that, you know, all the kids knew about. And here I'm an adult, like, how do I play this, kids? You know, and it's, you start to get the hang of it, and becomes a lot more fun that way.
Yeah. I mean, I remember you talking about YouTube. I remember Googling and YouTubing crafting recipes.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the time, and you didn't have the recipe book or anything like that. You had to actually know
right
how to craft things. So there's like a YouTube video, 25 most common crafting recipes in Minecraft. Was going through and watching that and going, "Wait, you can build ladders?" That changed everything.
Found out one new thing, and then you keep using it. You keep making it.
Exactly.
It's just doors everywhere. I know how to make a door now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to put 10 of them up.
Hey, that was the big thing that brought me to Java. Remember, because I was a PS4 player, you were an Xbox 360 player, and when I found Java had more than 2 doors, because the PlayStation version only had oak doors and iron doors. I was like, wait, there's more than 2 doors? I immediately bought the Java edition, burned my laptop to shreds trying to play it, realized I needed to build a computer.
And got right on it.
Got right on it.
Do you remember riding in your first boat?
Yes.
What a mess that was.
I hated boats.
I thought it was going to be like the future. I was like, I built a dock from my house. For one, it's the same world. You know, I had my underground basement. Figure out how to light it up. You know, everything was okay. I like to mine a lot. But then I started building my house on top, and I built this dock. Right? I'm like, yeah, I'm going to build this dock because you can make a boat. I can see you can make a boat. People have boats. I went like 3 blocks and broke it. And I'm like, okay, I gotta pick up my boat. Where's my boat? It's gone. You don't even get your boat back. I'm like, what kind of crap is this? I just broke my boat.
Yeah, you got 2 sticks and a plank.
Yeah, I'm like, what? This is not a boat. Like, your boat just doesn't disappear. But yeah, that was annoying. Glad they fixed that.
Oh, boats were so horrendous.
They were so bad. I did try to make friends with a slime. I saw my first slime, and I thought it was the coolest thing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, slime block elevators, to me, were the greatest redstone of all time for the longest time. Like, my first base, speaking of which, I'll try to remember to post a picture of the Discord, because I have my picture of my first base, my first actual SMP base, I should say, which was relatively my first base. Other than playing on the PS4, my very first Java playing experience was on an SMP. So I can successfully say my first base was an SMP base. But as soon as I found out you could do the pressure plate piston slime block launcher trick to act like an elevator, I had it in every single base from then on. Now, obviously, we have water streams. I still prefer the slime block launching thing, but the redstone gets really complicated when you try to go higher than like 4.5 blocks.
Yeah, takes a couple tries.
They were so cool. My Comicraft Season 3 base had the double slime block launcher to get up, and I remember like working on the redstone timings on that thing. So no matter what kind of server lag we had, that it would still function for everybody. And it's just like, ugh.
You remember your first redstone, doing your first redstone?
Yes.
I do too.
I remember my first redstone farm. Well, my first 2, I built them the same day. And I want to know if your first 2 were the same as my first 2.
My first one was a wheat farm.
Mm-hmm.
And I used a flushing system.
Yep.
I used the water. It would go down. And I remember placing the hoppers and how much trouble I had placing the hoppers. I didn't know you had to shift to place it into one. So I kept like clicking on the hopper. And then I didn't know I had to place it onto the block that I want the hopper to go into. So my hopper was facing down the whole time. It wasn't getting into the chest. And I'm confused why it wouldn't go into the chest. And here my hopper was facing down and not into it. And then if you click the chest, you're opening the chest. So you have to shift to click on the chest. So what I did, I thought I was big brain. I just put 2 pieces of wood there and put the hoppers into the wood and then broke the wood and then placed the chest. I was like, that's how you do it. Yeah, that's how you do it. No, here you could just shift click.
Yep.
Right into the chest. Ran into that issue.
Oh, yeah. No, that was my first farm. And it was also an auto chicken cooker.
Mine was an auto cow cooker.
Yeah. I never could get the cow cooker right. But I got the flushing wheat farm using the pistons that would retract to let the water flow. And then would obviously pick everything up in hoppers into a chest. No sorting. We didn't sort back then.
Nope.
And then I had the wheat seeds I would pick up and feed my chickens in my chicken cooker to get more seed chickens. And that was my first redstone farms. I thought I was Billy Bad.
Yeah.
Will it work? Billy Bad. And yeah.
It worked.
It worked.
Yeah, see, I had my wheat to give to the cows. Also had the same design for sheep because it worked. It worked the same way. And yeah, I would breed my sheep and get the lamb.
I didn't do a sheep farm till last season on Ripple Effect.
Yeah, for the meat?
No.
So I didn't shear them. I was using them to eat.
Yeah, I don't use sheep to eat. And I didn't collect wool because wool's a block I don't really build with. Mainly because it burns. And that's always a big thing for me. But now that we play on servers with fire tick off and stuff like that, not really a big deal. But when you're playing on a public SMP, it was a big deal. Many things burn down.
Yeah, I always tend to use a lot of carpet. Not a lot, but I always have to use some kind of carpet.
I've never been a carpet guy, but I will say my next season house will probably have a decent amount of carpet in it.
Even with the level 0 spawning, if that's a thing?
Even with it, I know what I'm planning on building. It's hard to describe. I can show you a picture. Someone built something really cool. and posted it. And I go, you know what? That's great inspiration. And I know how I would build something like that in my style to be full on duds. So I can show you the little snippet. It's literally, this guy builds this massive thing, and I'm like, okay, that corner junction right there, those 5 blocks and how they line up, I'm going to build an entire base around that corner. It's like, so yeah, I have to send you a picture of that.
Yeah, check it out. My first build I ever built wasn't very good, but I would show it to people as if it was the greatest thing ever. Like it was all cobble. You know, I didn't even try to use the bricks. Actually, no, I started transitioning to brick later, but yeah, it was all cobble mainly. And I don't know, it just, you know, I put a balcony on there and I'm like, look what I did. I got this cool balcony. It was just regular balcony, you know, it wasn't anything special now that I look back to it. It's just funny how far you've come thinking about the first days playing. I'm sure everyone has that same experience from the first time to now. It's pretty cool.
I was playing with a couple friends and I was building this. My base was going to be a bridge connecting these 2 mountain peaks. And it was a super thick bridge or whatever. And I'm building it. And again, I was not much of an explorer or a fighter or anything like that. So my buddies would go get supplies and bring it back. My charge was to build a structure that they could come home to and feel safe. So that was my thing. I'm like, okay, I'm building. You guys just get me supplies. And buddy brings back a massive amount of sand. I go, why did you bring back sand? We don't need sand. He's like, to make glass, duh. And I was like, wait, what? Because at the time I didn't. My structures at the time were like tree houses and stuff like that. And I'm proud of this tree house. And no, okay, glass is the thing. That's cool. And so he gives me a couple of glass blocks. I go, man, that's chunky for a thing of glass. He goes, oh, you want panes? And he made me panes. I go, oh, that's really cool. I go, it'd be cool if I could do a glass floor for the bridge or whatever so we can see all the way through. He goes, well, just do it. I go, what are you talking about? Glass will break. He's like, you can stand on glass and it not break in the game. I went, what?
It's the whole gravity thing coming back around at you.
Yeah, I mean, this is all taking place within like the first week of first playing the game. And I remember complaining left and right. I was not going to play Minecraft. It was a stupid looking game made for kids. And then you jump in the game and then you play the game and you're just finding this layer upon layer upon layer of creativity you can do in the game. And you're like, this isn't a kid's game anymore. This is an artistic dream for anybody. It doesn't matter your skill level. The game was made for you in some sort of way. It's a beautiful thing.
And it's almost like every update they're giving you new paintbrushes. They're giving you new canvases. You know, it's pretty neat. They're giving you new textures and details and to just incorporate to what you already have.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. If you don't play for 2 or 3 updates and then you come back to the game, it's almost like a brand new game to you.
It is, yeah. That's kind of how, like the very first time I played, I got it. I think I had it on my phone. I think I had the mobile version, and I was just in creative, and I'm just flying around, and I noticed it's just like grass and oak trees, and that's it. That was all. It wasn't anything special. I don't even know if there was stone. There might have been stone. But I was like, this game is so boring. Like all I can build with is this grass. Like, what am I going to make out of this? So I deleted it right away.
Yeah.
And then the next time I come back to it, I pick it up on Xbox because it's getting popular again. And this is when Redstone comes in, and I do the tutorial, and the tutorial really shows you what the game's about. Crafting things to make different things, and then you figure out that there's redstone that can move blocks for you and automatically farm for you. And I'm like, this game is freaking sweet. I'd like to figure out more of it. And that's when I just jumped in survival.
Yeah.
And I had way more fun in survival than any other aspect of the game. So I kind of stuck with that and been a survival player ever since.
I was definitely a creative player to start, and then moving to survival. It's just like, okay, this is how the game feels natural to me. So
yeah, don't get me wrong. I played some creative, like I wanted to build an airplane, so I started building like this little city, and then my cousin joined the city and blew a bunch of stuff up.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't realize. He's like, it's okay, it's not saved. I'm like, no, dude, you don't realize it is saved. Like, it's saved. You're on my world right now.
Yeah, it's auto-saved.
We're live in this world. You just blew up my cafeteria. Like I was mad. I rage quit.
Where am I going to get my chicken nuggets?
Yeah, like I can't remember what it was. It was some kind of fast food. It might have been a Subway I made. There's like a plane above it, and then I was making like a courthouse next to it. I wanted to build like a city in creative, and it was taking a long time. It was getting boring, so my friend came in, figured it'd be more fun. I was like, you can start building something over here. I look over, he's got TNT lined up on my building. I'm like, oh my, he has no idea. Yeah, so that was my first creative experience.
Mm-hmm.
But I always enjoyed survival better.
Same. But I think that's got to do it for today. We're over time.
Mm-hmm.
Before I have you read us out, I want to say a huge thank you to all of our patrons for supporting the show. Our milk level patrons are Omni, Chief Big Bear, Croc, Deadwalker, Fragile Rock, O-Beep, Stone Figure, and viperoustuna. If you too would like to get access to exclusive benefits and hours of extra content each month, please consider joining at patreon.com/The Withering Effect.
And if you like the show, you can share it with all of your friends and on social media. If you listen on Spotify, follow us, or if you listen on Apple Podcasts, leave us a nice review. Doing any of these really helps the show reach more listeners. If you'd like to get in contact with us, send an email to podcast@thewitheringeffect.com, tweet us, leave a voice message, or join our Discord where you can have a chat with everyone who works on the show and fellow listeners. All the links will be in the show notes.
This show has been brought to you by Jimbo and myself, but also our digital producer Carl. He helps make sure the show ends up where it should be, and the amazing music you hear in the intro and outro is created by the one and only Decoy. Everyone's social media info can be found in the show notes. You guys have been awesome. Thank you so much for getting withered with us. You should probably go drink your milk now. Bye.
See you guys.